Oh, where were we? Oh, here we go. Oh, wait. Hi, everyone. It's me, Sailor Mercury here. And today you can see I'm making this film in another room. And the first thing that I want to say is that there seems to be a little truth to back up about Sailor Moon Cosmos or Sailor Moon World or whatever you want to call it. There seems to be little truth out there, that they're working on it, that Viz is working on working on putting it into English. Now, the grounds to why it took so long for that to be done, your guess is good as mine. Now, when will it be done? Your guess is good as mine. I would think sometime next year, but I don't really have a date yet. Netflix doesn't have a date set yet. And a lot of folks would say, well, why did it take so long for Viz to work with it? My belief is that first it was in the film halls in Dawnland, and first the 6th and then the 30th of the 6th month. Then after that, who knows what else they did after that with it. And then for sundryest months, you really didn't hear that much about it. And then in the 12th month, you heard, well, they're putting it on disc. But it was only in Dawnland. You really didn't hear anything else about it at the time. So, Omen Boy, David White, ended up hearing, well, he didn't hear, but he ended up reading a whiff from the show player who does the speaking for Tuxedo Max and the Viz one. And it shows the likeness of him in one of those guess you call them filming rooms where they have the big speaker and then they saying their words. So yeah, it seems that Viz is now working on the 2 films. How long will it take for Viz to get all the English work done? Your guess is good as mine. When will Netflix have it out? I would say sometime next year, but don't really have a date yet. Now, the sad thing is that for months, I was the only one in the whole Sailor Moon followership to talk about it. Everyone else, they wouldn't talk about it. They wouldn't say anything about it. They'd behave as if it's no big deal, it's nothing to talk about, Who wants to hear about this thing? So it's almost like it was a forbidden thing to talk about in a Sailor Moon followership because nobody else would talk about it. Only here, we would talk about it. And I guess I know why they don't talk about it, because they know they're not going to get a lot of watch time in looking for giving their thoughts on where Sailor Moon Cosmos or Sailor Moon World is at. Where's the last following to the Sailor Moon show? To finally bring the end to the 2004 between YL Sailor Moon, which started with Hearst 1, 2, and 3. Then you had Internal, which was Forever, which was the 4th following. And you had Cosmos or World, which was the 5th and last following, since there were only, 5 books. Even though Naiko Takaguchi had written and drawn other Sailor Moon books after the 5 books were done. And they're more like sagas and tales that, never gotten made into a drawing show or anything. Sometimes called the Sailor Moon Gathering. Those books. And there's also a sagas of books where you got side worlds where every sailor fighter is years, and then there got books where she made them years later when they were all older and they had their children, things that they were doing, called Side Sailor Moon. Now, anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but anyway, so yeah, there were only 5 books on the first following of it. So, yeah. And if you overlook the books that were written and drawn after the fight, yeah. So, yeah, sometime next year, Netflix should have it. I don't really know who else has the streaming rights to it. At least in the English-speaking world, I would think it would be Netflix, but I could be wrong about that. So, anyway, yeah, it should be out sometime next year. Don't hold it to me because we haven't really gotten a date yet for any of it. And why no one else in the Sailor Moon followership has talked about this, it's not that it's forbidden to talk about it. They just don't want to talk about it because they know that I don't know, they just didn't, I don't know why. Sorry, I don't know why I didn't want to talk about it. But here I am, here I talk about some things that the Sailor Moon followership doesn't always talk about. And yeah, they don't always like to talk about how long it takes for a drawing show or a drawing film, to drop in other worlds, So, yeah. So, Sailor Moon Cosmos or Sailor Moon World, which is the telling of Sailor Stars in the first drawing show, which, Cosmos is another world, is the take of what the first drawing show would call Sailor Stars. So, yeah, that will be coming out sometime next year to Netflix. I don't know who else has the streaming rights to it or the broadcast rights to it. There might be other websites that do, but at least for us, it'd be Netflix. So all you folks that wanted to have the tool and shift your reckoners over to Dawnland thinking that was the only way you were going to see it, don't. It should be out sometime next year. I think they would have a date or a month set when that will happen. But until then, your guess is as good as mine. If you like this film, then follow us over here at Sailor Moon for Life. Give us a like. Share this film with anyone you think will like it if you have their hand or their wire to do so. And tell us what you think about Sailor Moon Cosmos or Sailor Moon World. Why it took so long, and why the rest of the world won't see it until 2024 YL. I, Sailor Mercury Amy, or Sailor Quicksilver, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye. Farewell.